Hello Man United fans. You are welcome to the home of Manchester United Daily News. Manchester United give update on Marcus Rashford fitness and future. Erik ten Hag is hopeful Marcus Rashford will be fit for Manchester United's Premier League fixture at Newcastle on Sunday. Rashford withdrew from England's European Championship qualifying wins against Italy and Ukraine with a knock he sustained in United's FA Cup quarter-final win over Fulham. The 25-year-old flew to New York for some downtime and reported back at United's Carrington complex on Monday to resume training, and he participated in a team session on Friday. "I've good hope," ten Hag said. "He trained, but he had to do some treatment, he had to do some individual training. Today he joined in with the group. We have one more day. I have a good hope he will be available." Rashford has tallied a career-best 27 goals so far this season, but he is out of contract in June 2024, and Paris Saint-Germain have confirmed their interest in signing him, having met Rashford's brother and agent, Dwayne, in August. When asked if there was an update on Rashford's future, ten Hag replied, "We never give an update. It's an internal process. We focus on winning games, of course also planning for the future. So in the background, we're working on that. It's about agents, it's about football director John Murtough. Rashi and I are focusing on performing." Rashford received some flack for flying across the Atlantic during a week off for United players. Although United had several players on international duty, those who were not called up by their nations had permission to head abroad. In a season that United have already played 46 games and a World Cup was held in November and December, ten Hag had no issue with Rashford or any other United player embarking on a springtime holiday. "I think it's positive that he was in a break," ten Hag opined. "I think with Bruno Fernandes, he was playing the most games of the whole squad. And I think with Manchester United playing the most games across Europe and especially the internationals, our internationals are not mostly on the bench, mostly they are playing. Our players are playing the most games in this crazy season. They need a breather to collect energy. For me, it's positive he took that time to turn off from football. I have seen him back this week and he has shown a lot of energy, a lot of motivation, it was a good spirit and a lot of focus. Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, Bruno, Casemiro, they are starters for their nations. I want to emphasize they have the most games across the season so far. We played an extra round in the Europa League." Manchester United give update on Anthony Martial in team news versus Newcastle. Anthony Martial could return to the Manchester United squad for the first time since January 14 at Newcastle on Sunday. Martial has missed 32 of United's 46 games this season and has not played since the Manchester Derby win over City nearly 3 months ago, when he came off at half-time. The 27-year-old has been training with the United squad for the last 3 weeks, but he was not considered for selection in the Europa League round of 16 ties against Real Betis, the Premier League draw with Southampton, or the FA Cup quarter-final defeat of Fulham. Wout Weghorst has started all 18 games he has been available for since he arrived on loan from Burnley, and Martial has been absent for all of them. "He's training," ten Hag said. "So for 2 weeks now, I think he can be in the squad on Sunday." Ten Hag admitted ahead of the League Cup final he found Newcastle's time wasting, annoying, and United travel to St James's Park on Sunday, having won 2 of their 5 games at Newcastle since they were promoted back to the Premier League in 2017. United beat Newcastle 2-0 at Wembley but were held to a goalless draw at Old Trafford in October when they were restricted to only 2 attempts on target. "Concern? We know they delay." "Yes," ten Hag reiterated. "It's something that is what the refereeing doesn't want. They want to have tempo in the game. That is the aim of the Premier League, to have tempo in the game. So they have to be consistent to let the game go, so do and act what the policy is. It's about us, like we did in the 2 previous games, it's about us, as every game. We want to dictate, we want to control the game, but we play against a good opponent, we're aware of that. They've had a great season with their manager, the way of play. It's a team that is really hard to beat. But we are looking forward to the challenge. We have had many challenges this season and the evidence is we can beat them." Luke Shaw set to sign long-term Man United contract extension. Luke Shaw is close to agreeing a new contract with Manchester United. Shaw extended his deal by a year in December, but the club have moved to tie the left-back down to a longer contract. His deal was set to expire in 2024 but is now set to run until 2027. The England international is approaching 250 appearances for United since arriving from Southampton in 2014. After being dropped earlier this season, he has established himself as Erik ten Hag's first-choice left-back at Old Trafford and was part of the team which lifted the Carabao Cup in February. Ten Hag was asked about Shaw's contract at his weekly news conference on Friday, ahead of Sunday's trip to Newcastle. "If he signed, I don't know, I haven't heard," the United manager said. "I have to wait for that. If true, I am pleased. We definitely want to keep him because he's a really important player for our team." Shaw's is the first of a number of contract renewals United hope to sort out before the end of the year. Sources have it that talks are ongoing with Diogo Dalot and David De Gea. Dalot has a contract until 2024 while De Gea's contract will expire in June. United are also planning to step up negotiations with Marcus Rashford before the end of the campaign. Man United valuation does not stack up, as expert slaps price tag on Red Devils. The Glazers' asking price for Manchester United has been laughed off by a football finance expert who insists the numbers simply don't stack up. The American owners are seeking around £6 billion if they are to part ways with the Premier League club, which would be a world record figure for a sports team. There is interest from Britain's richest man, Qatar and Finland, with the latest round of bidding recently closing. Chelsea's £4.2 billion takeover in the summer acted as something of a barometer for Premier League sides in the modern climate, but United want more given their global stature. Kieran Maguire, however, has cited Thursday's second quarter results, which reported a profit of just £6.3 million and carry debt of £741 million, as proof of the financial mess at Old Trafford, which makes a mockery of the Glazers' demands. When you look at cash generated by the business, it is nowhere near £6 billion. Last August, the market valued United at around £2 billion. Potentially, it is now worth double, but any more and you really should be crossing your fingers. Coming up with a valuation is more art than science. You look at how much cash the business is likely to make in the next 10 years and then you add a couple of magic numbers. I did that with United and, being generous with the predictions, came up with £2.8 billion. The only way it would be worth near £6 billion would be if you could take control of broadcast rights and sell them yourself. As we saw with Project Big Picture, that is not going to happen, so the numbers simply don't stack up. The Rain Group are managing the process of any potential sale, but the current belief is that bids of around £5 billion, which have been lodged by potential buyers, will fall short of demands. United's current debt, which Qatari Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani is willing to rid of if he's successful, remains a major issue, and the club have had to endure another year without Champions League revenue this term. Any new owner will also have to invest significantly in the infrastructure. That is alongside the price they pay to purchase the club. It is well documented that Old Trafford has been neglected and is now considered second-rate in the modern game as clubs around Europe continue to modernise their own grounds, Tottenham being a clear example. United's Carrington training base has also been overtaken by several of their rivals, although funds have been allocated to improve the facilities in recent years. Erik ten Hag will also be seeking a hefty transfer kitty this summer if the club are to continue moving forward on the pitch. This is the roundup of today's news. If you are new here, consider subscribing and do remember to turn on your notification bell. Please, share the video to other Manchester United fans. Thank you for watching.